Hey, welcome back to my channel, everyone. We're going to do a Math is Fun video. Haven't done one of these since 2021 for the Alex Lafreniere Young Guns. So this year we're going to do for the 2023-24 Upper Deck MVP edition. Basically the first product to come out that featured Connor Bedard, or at least one card anyways. What we're trying to determine here is how many cases did they produce, and trying to figure out how many Connor Bedard redemptions there are. So in order to do a video like this, we have to set certain assumptions and in order to establish our numbers. So basically this video applies to hobby neat packs only. There's no retail numbers included in here. Unfortunately, with the way the retails are distributed and the odds that they state, there's nothing to make a judgment or make an opinion as to how many retail boxes there were. There could be 10 times more than hobby. There could be 20 times. We don't know. That is something that only Upper Deck can tell you. So again, this only applies to hobby neat packs. We know that there's 20 packs per hobby box, and there's 20 hobby boxes per case. That's written on the box. So what we're trying to do is that, determine the estimated cases. So that should be for hobby cases and e-pack cases. I don't know what the ratio is for hobby and e-pack. It could be 50-50, it could be 10-1, could be 100-1 in favor of one way or the other. We don't know. All we're assuming is that the distribution within the e-pack is the same as a hobby case. So you could have 1,000 times more hobby cases produced, but they're going to be out in the exact same distribution as what's stated on Cardboard Connection. The source of all odds, like I just said, was Cardboard Connection. So that's where I grabbed everything. And the math is basically based on how many number cards there are per box. So for my personal observation and my personal case that I just opened, I found that I was getting one number card per box. Some boxes, I think 2 of them didn't have any number cards, but other boxes had 2 or even more than that. So in essence, it worked out to about 1 number card per box. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to use 1 number card per box. I'll also assume, hey, maybe I got lucky and there's actually only 1 number card for every 2 boxes, or maybe even worst case, there's 1 number card for 3 boxes. So we're going to give you a wide range of what we think is based on how many number cards per box, and the true number should lie somewhere in between there. So here are the numbers that I grabbed from Cardboard Connection. We know that in the base set, they have parallels or number cards for Superscript, Superscript Black, and printing plates. There was 200 of each of these cards, and for the Superscript, they said that there was 25 cards. So 25 times 200 is 5,000. The Superscript Black, there's 5 of each card, times 200 is 1,000. And the printing plates, I'm assuming there's 4. There could very well be 8, there could be 12, there could be 16. Fortunately, we don't know that number. I'm just going with the lowest number right now of 4. And, even if there's 8 or the 12, it really won't affect the numbers all that much. Just because all the higher numbered cards there for the superscripts and all that really outweighs all that. So we took that for the base set. Then the base set was from 1 to 200. The base set short prints, which went from 201 to 250, they also had superscripts, the Superscript Blacks and the printing plates. There's only 50 of each. The same odds, number of cards per player. And here's how many total cards that they contributed to the number of cards. There was also the MVP talent, the superscripts. There's 100 cards total. You could get 25 numbered cards per player, so adding on 2,500 more. Then there was also the color and contours, which had the base out of 250, the green out of 20, and the purple out of 3. So once you add all these up and add them in there, there was really 38,300 numbered cards. And, the real number is probably close to there. But, depending on the printing plates, but to me, that's pretty much our starting point, is that there's 38,300 number cards. So when we look at the numbers here for if there's 1 number card per box, well, then that means there's a total of 38,300 boxes, which means then there's 1,915 cases, which means there's 766,000 packs. If we assume that there's 1 number card for every 2 boxes, those numbers double. So cases go up to 38,300, packs go up to 1,532,000. And if there's a worst case that, hey, maybe there's 1 number card for every 3 boxes, your cases go up to 5,745 and 2.298 million. So the real number is probably somewhere in between here. I'm guessing it's probably between here and here. I think this side here is really extreme, but you never know, it could be true. But I think the real number is going to lie somewhere in between here, just based on my observation in the boxes that I've opened. So now, okay, so the big question is, okay, so what are your chances of pulling the #1 draft pick redemption, which they still haven't announced, but I think everyone's under the assumption it's Connor Bedard. You know, it's a great assumption, but you know, until they announce it. So they're based on how many number of cards per box. Here are the packs and here are the cases. The odds are still the same. Doesn't matter how many cases there are. What the odds are stated at 1 in every 1,250 packs, which means basically as a best case scenario, there's probably about 613 of these cards out there. And the worst case scenario is there's probably about 1,800 of these cards out there. And in order to get one, you have to buy basically 3.125 cases in there. So I opened up one, fortunately didn't get any, but you know, there's yeah, basically it stays true within the odds there. So to me, there's between 613 and a worst case of 1,800. I think the true number is probably somewhere in between here, probably closer to 800 to 1,000, and that's from the hobby and the e-packs. So now your chances of getting the draft pick redemption gold. So we know that those odds were stated 1 in every 12,000 packs. So almost 10 times the amount of the other ones, are 10 times harder. So when we do that, basically your number of gold redemptions go anywhere from 64 to 192. And you need 30 cases to buy one, to get one. And the worst part is you probably would get 30 cases and you might not even get one if the odds didn't work in your favor. But you can see there are a limited number of these cards here for the gold redemptions. Then we get into the rookie division redemptions. So there was 4 redemptions, or 4 divisions, pardon me. And basically it was 1 in every 400 packs that they were stated for the odds of getting one of these. So, you know, basically 1 per case. And for the case that I opened, I ended up with that. So that stayed true. So as far as I can tell, if we go, if there's 1 number card per box, there's basically 1,915 total. And if you divide by 4, you're around 479 cards per division. And again, I rounded up and down to the nearest number. So don't sit here and try to take this and multiply by 4 and not get that. And, you know, there's decimal places and all that, so I'm not caring about that. So anywhere in there per division, you're 479 to 1,436. And I think the number is probably in that, you know, 600 to 700 range for each one of these. Right, now we get down to the autograph cards. So there was 21 available autographs set up into 5 different groups, A, B, C, D, and E. So group A you had the chance of getting 1 in every 16,256 packs. There was 3 players total: Joel Pavelski, Jeremy Swayman, Michael Bunting. When we work out the math, so total group A cards, there was 47 for 1 number card per box, up to as many as 94, up to as many as 141. So if you take those ones and divide it by 3, you know, you're looking at anywhere between 16 to 47 cards per player on here. So, you know, not a whole lot of numbering, or not a lot of cards of these ones available. Fortunately, none of them are rookies. Even though I'm showing a rookie in this picture, I've not changed that picture. But basically, yeah, you're getting between 16 to 47, and I think the number's probably around that 20 mark in there somewhere. So that's for the group A. You go up to the group B, that's 1 in every 5,947. There's 6 players: Colton Parayko, Dawson Mercer, Yaroslav Askarov, Luke Evangelista, Igor Afanasyev, and Simon Edvinsson. And when you work out their odds, 129 total to as much as 383. And then when you divide by the number of players, you're looking anywhere from about 21 to 43 to 64. So basically, they're very close to the Group A odds. You know, the Group A odds were 16, and I'll show the summary at the end. But there's 16 of the Group A, and Group B, there's, you know, there could be 21. Now we get into Group C, 1 in every 4,689. There's 5 players total. There's McCann, Tanner Jeannot, Pelche, Ridley Gregg, and Artur Silovs. And when you work out their numbers, yeah, basically works out to about 33 per player, 65 or 98, somewhere in there. Probably around 40 is probably the correct number. Then you get to Group D, which is 1 in every 3,483. There's 3 players there: Tyler Bertuzzi, Ross Colton, and Owen Beck. You know, you got about 73, 147, 220 per player. So yeah, they're going up and trending in about the same proportion, or in the exact same proportion. And the last one was the Group E total, which is the more common. 1 in every 1,923, 4 players. There's Zach Parise, William Dufour, Samuel Bolduc, and Arnold Durando. I don't know how that's pronounced. So then when you work that out, you know, there's roughly about 100 of each player, 100 to 200 to maybe as many as 300. So when we do the summary, you can see, yeah, Group A was the rarest ones, but, you know, really wasn't that much of a difference from Group B. And Group A didn't have any of the rookies. Group B ended up with the rookies. And C, D, and E had some of the rookies there. So there's kind of just a quick summary of how they all line up together. But you can definitely see, yeah, the Group E is the highest ones there. So that basically covers it. That's all the number of cards there and the ones that we didn't know. Again, so the retail, you know, I have no idea on the retail. They could have printed millions of these blaster boxes. I think the odds of getting them in retail for the Connor Bedard base redemption was 1 in every 12,000 packs. So who knows how many they put out there. There could be double, there could be triple the number. We'll never know that. And unfortunately, it's just one of the unknowns there. So yeah, this is the first time I've done this in a couple of years. Yeah, please let me know your thoughts and comments. I plan on doing more of these. And the next one is going to be the Tim Horton one, which recently came out about a week and a half ago. And we do know the number of cards in there. There's Connor Bedard, we believe, the redemption. Again, it hasn't been announced, but that's the logical assumption. And we'll try to tell you how many cases it's going to take to make that work. So that'll be the next one coming up in probably a couple weeks there. So if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. And until next time, take care. Thanks for watching.